Hey Jamie, this is Pat with Hubspot. I hope your day is going well. I wanted to send you a quick video to talk about how Hubspot helps customers address their SEO challenges. In today's market space, it's imperative that we're being found online in the digital world. And a lot of companies tend to struggle with how can we organize our content and create content in a way that we're being found by the right audience. So when we think about how we're going to get found, it's going to be based on our content, whether that be social media, ad campaigns, or even directly through your site, like a blog post, products or services page. And when we think about how a consumer is going to find you, it's changed pretty significantly even from 2 years ago. So traditionally, marketers used to have a keyword strategy. They'd make a piece of content and then they pump it full of keywords for the content to be found. And that worked at the time because that's how the Google algorithm worked. It was based on how many keywords you had that addressed very specific queries and how authoritative your site was, so how many backlinks you had. And that worked at the time, but things have actually changed pretty substantially. And this is why. So nowadays, a lot more people are using more natural language queries versus the very robotic pointed searches. And we can compound this even further when we think about people using the search assistants. So the Siris of the world, Google Home, Alexa. And if you're anything like me, I thought this would be a very small amount of people. But Google actually predicts that by 2020, 50% of all of its searches will be voice searches. And as of today, they're tracking 1 billion voice searches monthly. So it's not a trivial amount. And Google's actually had to evolve their algorithm to accommodate these more conversational queries because this is where the market's moving to. So with a couple updates, including Hummingbird and RankBrain, Google's actually begun to recognize intention with queries and then is ranking relevant content from other sites based off actually going through and reading your content. So it's not looking for keywords now, it's actually reading through the entire piece of content and is now smart enough to understand that piece and how relevant it is to a person's query. Really, really interesting. But this has definitely thrown a wrench into a lot of customers' SEO strategy because it's always been keyword focused. So I was on your site and I was looking through, you have some awesome content on there. And when we look at our products and services, you do a great job of sorting it out by actual services, but also expertise, which the expertise is what we want to be known for in the marketplace. We are the best IT partner or marketing partner for healthcare companies. But if I go to Google and I actually type in some long tail queries, and these are very specific because I'm trying to hedge our bets here and make it easier to find you. You don't actually pop up on the first page. In fact, I don't think you popped up until the 5th page for this particular query. And if we even got more specific and said best CRM implementation partner for healthcare in New York, because again, we want to be that trusted advisor and really own that expertise for any sort of healthcare marketing related. We don't pop up on the first page, JCA, and we don't actually pop up until about halfway down the 2nd page, I believe. Here we go. And it's good that we're ranking, but statistically, the top 5 search results are going to get 95% of the traffic, and this is according to Google. So you and the other page and a half of results are all fighting over the remaining 5%. So how can we change that and make sure that we are always being returned for anything related to marketing, healthcare, CRM implementations, and really own this expertise? So I wanted to use an example. This is a HubSpot customer, and I think they do a really good job with their SEO strategy using HubSpot's tools. So I just Googled, what is retail sales training? It's a pretty broad query. And you'll notice that this company Retail Doc pops up, and they have the first couple returns right here, and they also own this question box. And Google only returns results in this question box if they think a certain page does a really great job of answering exactly what this query is. And if I jump onto their page, you notice that they have a lot of content on here. And this is a very important piece of SEO and how to actually get found nowadays. So what this page is called a pillar page. And the idea behind a pillar page is one centralized resource that covers all the information on a broad topic. So in this case, retail sales training. And if you scroll down this example, it's really easy to see there are a number of different, what we might call subtopics related to retail sales training. So why is retail sales training necessary? What should retail sales training involve? In the old world, for each of these different subtopics, we would write an individual blog article. But in the new world, because Google is actually trying to judge intent, we want to provide a one-stop shop that addresses all these different questions. And because we've organized our page in a way that we have internal linking system, so if we click on one of these, it'll jump down to the page. And if we go to the bottom of the page, we have related blog content that drives back to this page. We're actually solving for two audiences. And the first is the user. So if somebody is searching for retail sales training, again, pretty broad, we're actually going to make sure that they're staying on our website by providing them everything they might need. And this is really important when we're trying to build trust and become that marketplace thought leader for our specific topic. And the second audience we're solving for is actually Google. So this page makes it really easy for Google, which, as we know, is a robot, to organize all of our content and judge what the intent is of my content. It's answering all these different questions because we have an internal linking system. And if it notices that people are staying here for a longer time, it's actually going to increase my ability to get found for each of these different variations, even if I don't type in that exact phrase. So if I jump back over here and type in best retail sales training instead of what is retail sales training, you'll notice that Retail Doc still owns the top results. And just a fun fact too, most of the pages that rank for these broad keywords like retail sales training will actually rank #1 in Google for up to 1,000 other keywords. So it just goes to show that if you create really great content that's really comprehensive, and then the key part here is organizing it in a way that's easy for Google to digest and understand what that intent is, we're going to get found much more frequently than if we just used keywords. And just an addition on that too, Google is now actually hiding keywords from marketers. So they're essentially trying to force people to shift from a keyword strategy into more business results strategy. So really creating content designed to address a whole slew of different topics versus just one keyword. So how does HubSpot actually help organize this and make sure that we're actually getting ranked? So to do that, I'm going to jump over into our tool and pull up what's called a topic cluster in our content strategy tool. And a topic cluster is just essentially a visual representation of this pillar page that we just showed. So I just created one real quick based on retail sales training. And we can start off by choosing any sort of core topic, entering it. So if you wanted to create a core topic around specific industries, maybe you have a core topic around healthcare organizations, or maybe you have a core topic around specific products or services like CRM implementation. And once we enter that in, HubSpot will actually suggest different subtopics to you, different things that we should try to own. And these are actually based on the most common queries from Google. So we're actually getting direct information from Google. And once I enter those in, we're going to start building out this visual representation of my pillar page and all the surrounding different supporting subtopics. And the HubSpot engine actually provides some pretty cool analytics through machine learning, such as authority, relevancy, and traffic too, which again is the most important when we want to find out what piece of content is really generating the most visits. And more importantly, once you actually have these different subtopics, it lets you attach related content and blogs either already existing on your site, which I think is really great for you because you have so much content out there, or if you want to create a new piece of content for a new subtopic you're trying to own, you can create blog posts directly from the HubSpot tool. Makes it exceptionally easy to lay out and organize all your content and visualize everything before ever putting pen to paper. And one other thing I mentioned too is that ability to understand the ROI for all of my content. So it's great if we're getting a lot of searches, but what does that actually mean to me? And how can I measure a tangible result on this entire topic cluster? So I'm going to jump over to our analytics tool. And with HubSpot Analytics, essentially what I'm doing is grouping all my different topic clusters together and solving for that issue of understanding ROI for each of my content. So instead of just looking at keywords, HubSpot is actually going to let you see the sessions, how many contacts that we've created, new contacts. And then since, again, we're laying on top of the HubSpot contact database or the CRM, we'll be able to track when a customer closes and be able to see how many new customers we're generating per topic cluster. Anything in blue, we can dive into and get some really great micro analytics on too. So if we want to go in and find out exactly what pieces of content within our topic cluster are driving the most traffic, we can easily jump in, see the sessions, contacts, and new customers generated from it. So this essentially can tell which blogs, which pieces of content on your page are driving the most customers. And understanding the ROI on a customer level is really the holy grail when it comes to marketing and also SEO. So really the two value points that HubSpot is bringing is helping you organize your content in the right way with the right content to get found and ranked higher on Google. And the second is understanding the ROI for each piece of content that's created. And I want to bring your attention to another customer. We have a bunch of different case studies that are all public online, but I thought this one did a really great job. Townsend Security. So in 2015, they owned the market for encryption key management. And if you typed in encryption key management, they were always the first one that popped up. But in 2016, that all changed when competitors started to emerge. And they realized at Townsend Security that they were losing market share, but also equally as important, they were losing space in the digital space war, if that makes sense. So using HubSpot's SEO strategy and creating pillar pages, organizing their content in a way to get found, they were able to see a 55% increase in organic traffic and an 80% increase in leads. And again, this isn't atypical for customers using this SEO strategy. We have a whole bunch of them and happy to share additional case studies. Hopefully this was really helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or contact me. More than happy to sit down and review and brainstorm how we can help lay out JCA's information in a way that we're getting found and ranked on Google. Thanks. Talk to you soon.